I think we're recording. What's up, everybody in podcast land? This is the Empty Slate. I am Chris Barnett with my awesome co host, Russ. He's on the other side. What's up, Russ?
Thank you for that ravishing introduction. It
I
always makes
figured,
me feel loved.
yeah. Well, I figure we get kind of energized today. We have a lot of shit we want to get to, don't we?
I mean, yeah, we do. I some of these issues you or some of the not issues. Well, they are issues, but some of these things you have sent me that um, the the conspiracy theorist in myself um, may or may have not. Oh, Jesus Christ! I just made my screen bigger, and my head
Whoa.
just got real big. What the hell just happened there? I'm glad this ain't for. I'm glad this ain't for video because I just got real close.
Yeah, you did.
What happened? What is
I
going on?
wish I wish I was recording the video part of this because that was funny.
Why did it get like that? That was weird. Why won't it? I
That
don't
was
like this.
super
I hate.
Russ.
I sometimes get tired of Streamyard, but Zoom sucks too. So
Zoom is horrible, and Riverside FM, it's the same price and it's whatever. So
right.
that's what we got until we can start recording in person,
Thank you,
which we
Streamyard.
need to do. Yeah.
As we were here talking shit about
Hey,
the other
you know
two.
what? I pay for it.
I did for a while.
So
I did for a while.
I'm paying for it so I get to talk shit about it. That's kind of the
Right.
way it works. So condolences, first of all.
To who?
You. Your
Condolences.
Yeah, condolences. Your Cowboys are out.
About what?
Huh? I said
What
condolences
did you say?
because your Cowboys are out.
Fuck you. As I as I as I drink my apple juice.
Yeah, apple juice.
Apple juice.
That yeah.
Good apple juice right there.
Boy, I tell you, I wish I could drink something like that. Uh so sorry. The Cowboys did what I knew the Cowboys were going to do.
Bullshit.
I knew
Bull
it.
bullshit on a cracker because
I told you the Niners were the best team in the NFL.
they're not the best team.
Okay.
Everybody on our team played well enough to beat them, but Dak fucking Prescott. And you can't tell me any different. If we had a quarterback that was better than a excuse me for saying this, that was better than Kirk Cousins on his worst day sometimes, the fucking game would have been a different game. But you have a guy who can't hit an open man to save his fucking life, who overthrows people and causes his own interceptions, who now leads the league in interceptions. So if you're going to tell me that, oh, they lost that game. No, Dak Prescott lost that game.
Hold on. Isn't Dak Prescott a part of that team?
Dak Prescott lost that game.
Is he part of that
Everybody
team?
else, everybody else on that. Nope, I'm not. I ain't changing shit. Everybody else on that team played well enough to win. Everybody.
Isn't the quarterback part of the team?
No,
He's not.
no,
The quarterback
not
is
not
not a
not
member
in
of the
this.
team.
Not in this instance.
Yes, he is, and you know he is. Brock
No,
Purdy played a hell of a game.
they
Zero
had.
picks, zero fumbles, zero turnovers. Well, special teams had turnover, but that
Special
wasn't on
teams had a
Brock.
turnover. That's what I'm saying. Everybody else on that team played well enough to beat the San Francisco 49ers. You can't win.
It looks like to me that everybody on the San Francisco 49ers played better than the Cowboys.
You're just a cowboy hater, and I hate that about you. You're. What are you going to cheer for? Okay, you want to start this shit? What are you going to cheer for next year? You ain't going to cheer for a damn thing because you ain't going to have a quarterback. You and your shitty Packers are going to be in last place in that division because the Detroit Lions, Washington Redskins, Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions are both going to be better than y'all next year. So you're going to be lucky to get third in your division, and you can stick this in your ass.
We're gonna have love.
You love.
Yeah, love is great.
You've lost your mind. You
I
you
got that love
you
and feeling.
you finally lost your mind. I think you should have got some sleep today because I think you finally lost your mind.
Honestly, I don't know. I'm going to stick by them just like every Cowboys fan has done with their team for the last 30 years. So, I'll stick with the Packers for forever. They're my team, and win or lose, that's just the way it goes. But
Something has to be done with the Cowboys. I really feel like, and this is just a fair opinion. And I know we're not supposed to, we're trying not to talk a lot of sports today, so I'll keep it brief. Something has to be done about the Cowboys in two aspects of this game: the play calling and your quarterback. Obviously, your quarterback is probably not going anywhere, but your play caller, Kellen Moore, has interviewed for head coaching jobs, and if he doesn't get those jobs, it may be time for him to find another job somewhere else.
I
I'm not
agree.
gonna I'm not gonna blame McCarthy because McCarthy's not calling the plays. Kellen's calling the plays. You have a quarterback who's not he's not a leader. He's not a leader in my opinion, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to get too big into sports because I'll give you that, and that's about it because it's just also my picks for the weekend: Bengals, Niners.
Okay, I'm with you.
That's
I'm
the
going. I'm going Bengals, Niners, Bengals to win
Yeah, I'll
Super
go with
Bowl.
that. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'm agree with you on that. I'll also I don't. I mean, as much as I hate Philly, or as much as I don't want the Niners to get another Super Bowl to catch the cap or to be equal with the Cowboys,
They already have
or
5 to beat the Cowboys.
no, right to
Yeah,
be more than Cowboys, right? Excuse me. Um, I don't as much as I don't want them to have more than the Cowboys in 6. I damn sure don't want Philly to get another one.
yeah. I think 98%
I'd rather
of the country feels that way.
I'd
I
rather
don't
see
know
Joe Burrow
who
get
can
his
like
first.
Philly. Yeah, definitely. I've been riding with Joe Cool all season.
Yeah.
I've been on his bandwagon since he came out of LSU. But
And I don't think and one more thing on that, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to be 100%.
no, he's got a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to be 100%. He'll play, but there's no way he's 100%.
No, and that defense, I told everybody I work with, I said the Cincinnati defense is better than what y'all give them credit for.
Yeah,
So, but let's move on. There's other things that's happened in this world.
there's always other things.
Yeah, but this is pretty. This affects us in a very very big way. The World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
Hmm.
Yeah, Davos. It sounds like a gay wrestler.
That's
Davos.
very homophobic. I hope the LGBT community is not listening to this.
Oh shit, I forgot about them. They're very popular and powerful.
Yeah, you know what I saw today on TikTok?
Tranny.
Someone from besides that, because those pop up every now and then. Someone from the
How much porn do you watch?
Shut up, LGBTQ plus community
You forgot the
said
IA.
whatever said Aretha Franklin's "Natural Woman" was offensive to trans people.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Oh Jesus. Well, it's raining men is offensive to me. So
because you're not
who
a
the hell
man.
sings that? Who wants to have men raining on them?
Oh God. Okay, so Davos and the Weef. Uh,
Yep.
so
So go ahead.
so let me tell you what I know, and what I have um, heard in the past. Um, Many of you that I'm not going to say many of you, some of you that listen to my podcast know that I can be a bit of a conspiracy theorist at times. Um, I have been a fan on and off of Alex Jones for probably around 3 to 4 years, um, dating back just before. I'm sorry, just after the Sandy Hook thing. It was maybe longer than that. I'm not gonna lie, maybe longer than that. So if you do you want to explain what it is, or I mean, because my explanation and your explanation, you're going to go probably more logical. I'm going to go probably more. Um,
Well, it's the world's elitist. They have a conference every year and they discuss how they want the world government to be, basically. And what it is actually supposed to be is the world's
so here's their statement. Can you still see me?
yeah, I got you.
Okay, because I pulled it up on Google while we're sitting here. While you're saying this, the World Economic Forum is an international organization of private, co public and private cooperation. The forum engages in foremost political, business, cultural, and other leaders of society to shape global, regional, and industry agendas. So, what I'm going to tell you real quick, the World Economic Forum is a group of people that are not only corrupt, not only evil, but they also have more hands in pockets than we know. And I think
Absolutely.
you would agree with that.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't realize, and a lot of people think that, one of those things that, calls Alex Jones a lunatic. And before I keep bringing up Alex Jones, let me go on record of saying, before people say, "Well, you like Alex Jones, you must agree with what he said about Sandy Hook." No, I don't agree with what he said about Sandy Hook. I think that even he's even addressed the fact that he was wrong, and I'm going to leave it at that. But what people don't understand about Alex Jones has said some wild shit. The wild shit is true. There's a lot of it that's true. You have guys like
Yep.
Xi Jinping, Emmanuel Macron, um, um, what the hell's his? What's that whack job from Canada? Um, oh no, he's not on Davos, but he's just another whack job. But that's a big one right there. Oh, the other one that just says some outlandish, wild shit is the president of Ghana. And I'm gonna read this off to you. And if I fuck it up, I don't care. His name is Nana Adu Dawana Kufor Adu. If I fucked it up, I don't care.
Sounds right.
But then you have other people there, like John Kerry, Al Gore, um, Bill Gates. It's Go ahead. Start with some of the stuff that you brought up. Start with some of the stuff you brought up before we went on the air.
Okay. So basically, it's a new world order, and we're not talking about the WWF faction or WCW faction.
Both.
Yeah. It is basically we will be living in cities that are about 5 miles long, 15, 20 stories high, no cars allowed, no carbon emissions whatsoever, all electric modes of transportation is all public. Vaccine passports, more or less. And you super zoomed again.
I did.
Yeah. It's all right.
That's weird.
You need to trim your nose hairs.
I wasn't that damn close.
What else?
So basically, what they are wanting is a one world government.
One world government. Yes, that's what I was trying to get to. I'm trying to do something.
And when they say a one world government, they want, like Chris said, They want vaccine mandates for the globe. They want um, basically facial recognition everywhere you go. Um, they want to outlaw carbon. Um, they want to.
They want us to eat bugs. They want to outlaw farming for livestock. They want us to eat bugs. In fact, the EU just passed a law to where cricket flour is now legal for consumption. Cricket
Well,
flour.
and you have, luckily for us, we we have a lot more rights in our country than a lot of other countries. We
For now.
also have a lot more freedoms than a lot of other countries do.
For now.
And well, I'll be honest with you, I don't think that's going to change. I really do honestly feel like, and I know this is going to sound like weird, but the world is waking up to this crap. Um, and it's it's not really something that they can hide behind anymore. Um,
No, they're hiding in plain sight now. They're telling you exactly what they're going to do.
yeah, but I don't think. I mean, there's a lot, and I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of shit that they think that they can get away with, and
It's
it's. I just don't. I'll be honest with you. I believe they want to do it. I just don't think that it's going to be possible. I don't think that there are world that will rise up against that, Chris. There are way too many, and I don't really feel like I don't feel like some of the shit that they want to do is even a possibility. Do they want to do it? Yes. Can they do it? I don't know. But
well, they're
go
not
ahead.
going to do it by traditional means like you and I think or like you think it's going to happen. It's going to be behind closed doors, paid off officials and laws signed in or bills signed into laws, kind of like this Green New Deal, the Build Back Better thing that Biden has signed in.
Yeah, but
There's
you
a
have go ahead.
there's a lot of bills that's going to be signed into law for our protection, quote unquote, and to help us become carbon neutral and this, that, and the third. That we're not going to know what all is in these bills until the ink is dry, and then we're going to be like, oh shit.
Well, yeah, but you see how that stuff has fallen flat. I mean, you see how some of the Green New Deal has been there, but it's not getting passed. You see how this um,
Build Back Better did.
did it, yes, but is it really going to make a shit? No. We're not. We are not. We are not a group of people now in this country, especially this country, that are going to just sit back and allow things to happen.
Man, I want to agree with you, but have you met some of these people?
Chris, we have to realize there's always been shitty. There's always been whack job people. Every generation has had whack jobs.
Yeah, but
Every
not to this extent and not to this scale. I
well,
mean,
no,
I just
but it's human nature for people to evolve and get wackier. I mean, think about it. Think about it. In the 20s, what was the whack job thing? People were, or hell, even go back to the teens.
well,
What was
it's
the whack job?
prohibition and
Witches. No, hang on. What were the people that were wackos?
the
Witches.
witches.
People thought that. Okay, you go to the 20s. Voodoo. You go to the 30s, it was probably voodoo. 40s, you got the start of gypsies and grifters, and 60s and 70s, you got hippies. 80s, you got
hippies,
90s, you got,
stoners.
well, I don't think Stoners was like a, I don't think Stoners was a weird group. I think it was just a group, but you always had those outcast type groups. You had,
But
one
here's the
side versus
thing:
the other.
this is where I agree with you, but this is where the weirdos, quote unquote weirdos, the outcasts, are making noise.
But they've always made noise.
No, 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 not to this extent. Not to where the LGBTQIA plus whatever. I'm running out. There's 26 letters in the alphabet. I think I used them all. Um, they're making such a strong sound in this world now that they want to be included in everything, and they're making it out to be and pushing their gay agenda. And I'm not trying to gay bash. If you want to be gay, be gay. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is it pushing it onto my kids. That's what bothers me. And to where I watched this video and they said that we want a LGBT whatever acronym else you could put on there in every single film, movie, TV show, you name it. They want at least one person, and it's already happening. Hell, look at that 90 show. Have you seen that yet?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I tried to watch the first episode, and it was just too cheesy for me.
It was cheesy.
And I cut it off. It was too cheesy for me. It was like too.
It was Fuller House.
See, and I never watched that either.
Well, just it's Fuller House with weed.
And so it was too cheesy for me. So I just kind of was like, man, I'm out.
So back in the 90s, it was not a cool thing to be gay. And you would not be out to your friends. But there is a gay character on there, which, okay, another gay character. But they're just pushing this agenda on us so hard and they want to talk about inclusivity and all that kind of stuff, but it's just too much. It's too much for me,
I get what you're saying, and I understand it, and I can't put myself in that position because I don't have kids. But this is where and this is where I have a problem with. This is where I have a problem with people who don't. This is where I have a problem with people who bitch about it. The same thing that I'll say to the people that say that Yellowstone is a terrible show, or wrestling is awful, or WWE is awful, or this or that. Don't watch it. Or this movie came out and Disney caved and they put a gay person in there. Don't watch it. Well, this actor said this about, this Republican. Don't listen to it. And this is where freedom is always going to be free. We as, and I say we, but me, myself as a Republican, as somebody who believes in the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, we have the freedom to do what we want in this country. Are there people in this country that take advantage of that? Abso-freaking-lutely. There are people on one side that take way too much advantage of something, but there are also people on the other side that take way too much advantage of something. People on the right, people on the right want to talk about First Amendment, Second Amendment. I got the freedom of speech. I can say what I want. I can carry my guns. People on the left, you shouldn't be able to carry your guns, but I should be able to say what I want. and I should feel included on everything. Guess what? You're both right. Because that's what the fucking amendments say. You both are right. The unfortunate thing about some of this stuff is nowadays people cave way too easy on some of the smaller issues before, and when they do, it's 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 sad and it's sickening how fast some of these businesses, some of these some businesses, production companies, TV studios, you know, TV networks. It's astonishing to me on how fast they cave, and it's sickening too, because you see like the night that, like you said, that '90s show. There's a gay character in there. Okay, oh well, don't watch it. Was there was there was there a was there a was there a gay character in anything that we had growing up? I don't know. Growing
I don't
up,
think so.
growing up. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really pay attention that much because if I didn't think it was funny or if I didn't think it was entertaining, I didn't watch it. I didn't pay
Right.
attention to it. So if it wasn't something that I cared about, then I didn't give a fuck. Whatever. I don't give a shit who you sleep with, who you do it with, what you do in your bedroom. I don't give a shit. It's none of my business. But putting myself in your shoes when it comes to your door and it's right there in your face, and then you have these groups that want to preach about exclusivity and everyone should feel welcomed and everyone should feel loved, and it's like, you know what? Everyone shouldn't feel welcomed. Everyone should. Sometimes you should feel unwelcome. Sometimes you should have people that don't fucking like you. Guess what? I wouldn't be the person I would be today if there were people out there that didn't fucking like me. And you know what? I don't give a shit. It's like water off a duck's back. If you don't like me, fine. I don't care. But not everybody has to be liked. Not everything has to be liked. I may not like the same kind of beer you like, or I may not like the same kind of pizza you like, but we can still be friends.
Right. And what I was getting at is how they're forcing their whole agenda upon us for acceptance and forcing
But
us
but it
into acceptance.
but it's not.
That's
But
what I'm
they're not.
trying to get to.
But it's not forcing us. It's not.
It
They're not. They're not forced. They're not forced to put a gay character in a television show.
they are.
No, they're
They
not.
are.
No,
I
they're not.
I 100%. You, you might not understand, but some way somehow production companies, studios are being forced one way or another to put a person of color, LGB, whatever, a gay person, lesbian, whatever, in it. There's something backing it. There's some other motive behind it. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't happen unless they wrote it specifically to have a gay character. There's no doubt in my mind, and I could be wrong, and somebody could fact check me on this, but there's no doubt in my mind that, let's talk about that 90s show, that gay character was not meant to be in there.
You're probably right, but you know why? Because there are nowadays there are groups of writers, and there are gay writers and straight writers and black writers and Chinese writers, and they're all in this little room and they're all together and they all say, well, what do you, that we need to pitch this, and let's pitch this, and let's pitch this, and they all do that. But and that's the thing though.
They do
There's
that and they're
they
afraid to say no.
but that's but
Production
that
company.
but that's what you're not understanding. They're not forced to do it. They're afraid to do it.
That's what I'm. That's what I'm getting at. Some way, somehow, they're forced to do it. If they say no, then they can go up the ladder and say, "Hey, Joe Blow over here won't put this gay character in it. He's homophobic. You need to
Yeah.
fire him."
Well, yeah, you're
That's
right. But you could say that about anything nowadays. That's what I'm getting at. That's the freedom that we have.
To bully people into your agenda?
No, not to bully, to speak your mind. They choose to bully. They choose to speak their mind. And I mean, we brought up TikTok a while ago. How many videos have you seen of Karens on TikTok? Excuse me if your name is Karen. I apologize. It's not my term. It's already been
copywritten.
Predisposed. How many crazy women, let's just put it that. How many crazy women have you seen on TikTok losing their absolute shit about the dumbest things possible?
Oh, hundreds, thousands.
Okay. In your lifetime, how many times have you seen it in person?
I could probably count on one hand. I had one experience myself when I was working at Pizza Hut.
You know how many times I've seen, you know how many times I've experienced an actual crazy woman or a crazy person? I can count it on one hand and with one finger.
Besides your mom going off on you?
Well, that's different. That's your mama. She's allowed to go off on you. I saw it one time working for the place that I just left. A woman was irate that the guy that was working at her house did not have another person working with him because she didn't believe that he could do it by himself. She called our main line. Then she requested his boss's number. Then she requested his boss's number because she didn't believe that he could do it by himself. But you know what happened when her husband showed up? And this is exactly what happened because the guy that was working there recorded it because he got nervous because something was going to happen. So he started to record just the he wanted to make sure that she didn't record him saying anything, or she didn't want to say something that was like get him in trouble because like he was like, I'm just not going to say anything, so I want to record everything that goes on. The husband showed up, she shut up. So you look at that situation, and I'm call me sexist, call me whatever you want for this, but you look at that situation right there. You want my opinion? That woman doesn't have a say-so when her husband's there.
Right.
So when she's there by herself, she wants to say whatever the fuck she wants to. And when I say that, I mean that there are people out there that have probably never had a voice, who have been basement dwellers, who have been outcast, who have been picked on. And now you have groups out there like Antifa, like
we'll get into them in a second. Yeah.
Like the LGBT community that are giving them a voice, and it's the wrong voice.
Yes.
You look back at one thing that's going to stick out to my mind until the day that I die, the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff.
Yes.
You go back and look at that. The left is always going to say that kid murdered those two people. But video evidence and witness evidence says 100% different. And the sad part about it is you'll never be able to change the minds of the people on the opposite side, even with video evidence and witness evidence. Because in their minds, those people had a voice and they were victims. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know, and before you get into Antifa, I don't know much about what happened in Atlanta. I do know a smidge bit, but I really wasn't paying much attention to that. But I did see a lot of burning police cars and broken glass in buildings.
Okay. So, yes. I'm trying to think of something to say without getting fired.
Fired from what, work?
Yeah.
Nobody knows where you work. Who knows where you work?
Don't worry about it. It's okay. So yes, you're right. That woman had a lot of pent up frustration, anger because she doesn't get a say in her house. You're right, and there's probably a ton of women that are like that. My
One
whole
less thing.
thing, my whole thing on all of this is it goes back to everybody. I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this. It goes back to everybody wanting equal rights. Women wanting to be treated fairly in the workplace. Well, guess what? You are now. Welcome to the workforce. Come out here and go to work. Everybody want to be treated fairly, and I feel like gender roles should play a huge role in American households. That's where I feel like that situation that your buddy, your coworker walked into, that was gender role issue. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like a lot of our problems nowadays are because everybody wants equal rights and wants the same be treated the same as somebody else who is different. You can't treat different people the same. My son's autistic. I cannot treat him the same as I would my other two kids.
Agreed.
You cannot treat you cannot treat different people the same way as each other. Everybody is different. They must be treated accordingly. That's kind of the way I feel. Women have certain roles in America in American households, and that's kind of the way I see that. Gay people, should they be allowed to marry? I don't care, but force your lifestyle upon somebody else, that's not cool. That's not what I like. I don't agree with it. And that is everywhere. It doesn't even commercials now have to go to these extreme conditions, I guess you could say. Extreme. There's a there's a Alzheimer's commercial. Two men, a black man, a white man. They hit a fucking trifecta. Sick, gay, interracial relationship.
Stop telling us your Google searches.
There's usually a tranny involved in that one.
Sorry, I had to break the seriousness with something. Um,
That's all I'm saying is that
no, I get it, and I guess, and I'll be honest. It's probably a lot harder for me not having kids, and it's probably it it's probably an underlying reason why I'm nervous to have kids because do you want them to grow up in the world that we're in right now? But you know, I don't remember who said it, but I was listening to something and they were talking about people that were scared to have kids. And it was basically if you're scared to have kids because of the world that we're living in, then you're letting the world raise your kids. You're not raising your
right,
kids yourself.
right, right.
And so that really stuck with me. Um and believe me, I don't disagree with you. I see the commercials with you know the gay couples, and we didn't see that back in the day.
Mm.
We didn't see that type of stuff on TV. Is it? And I guess the older I've gotten, the more I get to a point to where I'm just kind of like, whatever happens, happens. Because you start to realize that one person can't change the world. A million can, but one person can't. But it takes a lot, and I guess you can call it faith, you can call it whatever you want, but I feel like there are enough of us that are starting to wake up, and that I feel like some of these things are going to get better. You may not ever in our lifetime again not have a commercial that has a gay couple in it. And is that, is that what it is? It is what it is. There's not really anything that we can change about that. Um, like you said, it's none of our business what people do in their bedrooms. It's just not. Don't care. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. I don't care what my neighbor does in his. I don't.
Right.
And so, but going back to what you said, it's when you force it, it's when it becomes an issue. And for me, for myself right now, the the only forcing that I see is just the stuff that I see on TV and that you see on the news, and it can be disturbing, no doubt about that. It can be disturbing of what you hear. Some of these great follow, shout out libs of TikTok. It is an absolute must follow if you want to watch people that are just batshit crazy, because there are some on there that are just batshit crazy. They say some wild stuff that makes absolutely feel what's coming in this country. But you know what? They got the right.
Right.
The bad thing is some of those people are in our schools, and it does make you nervous.
It does. Absolutely, it does. And that's when you have to be
Shit,
a vigilant.
mother. A vigilant. Sorry, I'm,
You have to be
I'm
a vigilant parent.
everything's falling
And
off over here.
yeah, again, this isn't that kind of show.
Hey, if I want to take my clothes off and twist my shirt around my head like a helicopter.
Yeah, we don't need you to twist your head around. Again, it's not
Unless,
that kind of show.
unless that was Beetlejuice, that would be kind of cool.
That wasn't the head I was thinking.
Whoa, could be dark.
All right, now that I'm good and fired, let's talk about Antifa.
Oh God.
So Antifa was in town it was in Atlanta, in town in Atlanta, and they were having a peaceful, quote unquote, peaceful protest about a uh, activist, was environmental activist who was killed by authorities this week um, after the 26-year-old shot a state trooper.
Now, did he shoot? Okay, did he shoot the state trooper? Or did he shoot at the state trooper? Because these are questions I'm asking because I don't know.
This is from KERA or PBS. This is from PBS. That the 26-year-old shot a state trooper. And I read another report on Infowars, I think. He was shot in the abdomen. So, and then police got after his ass or its ass because it's a they whatever. I can't say he or she. It's a they because that's what's in the report. The police went after him and shot it and killed it. Then the protesters turned violent and all hell broke loose. And yet another Antifa protest, peaceful protest.
Well, we brought it up a while ago. The Kyle Rittenhouse thing was a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to be honest with you. To me, Antifa is the biggest waste of oxygen on the planet.
Agreed.
They they've never been known to do anything right. They've never been known to be peaceful. And anybody that ever says they're peaceful is full of shit. They Oh, there you go.
I've been up 26 hours and I'm not even doing that.
I've also had a nice glass of apple juice. I don't have any respect, I don't have any respect, anything for Antifa. They did what they did in Atlanta. I think I saw a police report, or I think I saw a police officer giving a statement on one of the news channels, and it had said that out of 25 arrests that were made that night, like half were from out of state. They weren't even from the state of Georgia. So I just don't have any. I don't have any use for people like that. And I don't have any use for people that just. I don't know. Antifa is one of those things that I'm going to be honest with you. I think that there probably are people. Probably, I'm not going to say that there is because I don't know. But I think there are probably people in Antifa that mean good. But when they have these peaceful protests, they attract people that shit. And to me, and call me a conspiracy theorist all you want, don't give a shit. There were people at January 6th that were trying to be peaceful, that just wanted to be there and support Trump. And then there were people that just wanted to do dumb shit.
Yes.
And it hasn't been proven. There's a lot of video evidence that is out there, but they've never officially proven anything. There's nobody that wants to admit that there were people there that were working with the FBI and shit. But I don't honestly think that all of what happened on January 6th was accurate. I also don't think what happened in some of these police riots have been accurate. I think there's been a lot of people there that have just wanted to cause havoc, and that's all they give a shit about. They don't give a shit about the cause. They don't care about what's going on in the world.
They're there to fuck shit up.
They just want to break shit and cause havoc. And I mean, let's be honest. There's probably always going to be people like that.
Yep. Dealing with their inner Fred Durst.
Yeah, they just want to break stuff.
So I'm going to read this. This is from PBS.org. It says Atlanta Police Chief Darren Shirebaum said during a news conference that authorities made 6 arrests Saturday and recovered explosive devices after the protesters damaged property along Peachtree Street, a corridor of hotels and restaurants. He said authorities halted the violence within 2 blocks and no citizens or law enforcement officers were injured. They recovered explosive devices. That shows intent. Right there. That's intent. Yeah. I see that. I read that, and that's intent. That means they didn't go to this protest to be peaceful. They came to blow shit up.
Well, no,
that's that was their intent. That was Antifa's intent right there. It was to go and blow shit up and cause havoc and create even more divide in this country.
But yeah, and I mean that's just. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. We can tie this all back into one thing, and I think that there's a higher power, and I'm not saying God or Jesus. I'm saying there's somebody there's a higher power.
Somebody there's a puppet master pulling the
Yeah.
strings.
Well, and a lot of people are going to say, well, that's George Soros and Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates and the people at the World Economic Forum, and
We could tie it back to that. Yeah.
I,
The liberals. Um,
yeah,
it's
but there there
somebody's
are
pulling the strings.
there are decent liberals out there.
Oh, absolutely. I work with some.
There are whack job Republicans.
I
Look
work
at
with some.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
She's a whack job. She's and no, I'm not saying it. No, I'm not saying it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it.
This is the place for it.
There are whack job Bible thumpers out there, and
Yes.
and there are some of those hardcore right wing just
Extremists,
extremists,
preppers.
yes, that are so far right that it makes you it makes you scared for their children. Um, and then there are normal headed people that go to church and say their prayers and eat their vitamins like a good Hulkamaniac should, and that aren't complete basket cases. And there are some where I seen a TikTok the other day, and there are some that believe that they this guy, I'm not shitting you, had on goggles, had on a mask, had on gloves, and then had a thing of disinfectant wipes in a plane, wiping down everything around him in the plane. And this guy was recording. There are people out there like that,
Yeah.
and it's wild as shit to think that there are people out there still like that are still paranoid about COVID.
Fear.
There, but it's all controlled by that box on the wall,
Hmm.
and it just all depends on what you put on that box on the wall.
Yeah.
And if
Very, very
you
good point.
if you want to sit there and you want to watch CNN or MSNBC and you want to listen to their fear mongering and all that, then fine, do it. If you want to live like that, fine. But there are also people out there that want to watch Tucker and want to watch Sean Hannity and Laura Ingle or however the fuck you say her last
Ingram.
name, and and want to listen to their hellfire and brimstone you know if we don't change our ways, and if we don't bring Jesus back into the Pentagon. And I mean, there are people that are out there that are like that, and it's just, I know for my sake, I can't always live in my own little. Hey, good one. There you go. Nice yawn there.
Hmm.
I can't always live in my own little bubble, and there are a lot of times where I'll get deep into the conspiracy theorist. I'll get deep into watching the news, and I will find myself getting wrapped up in that shit all over again. And it's not healthy for your brain. Left or right, it's not healthy for your brain.
Right.
You shouldn't let that thing on the wall control your narrative. You shouldn't let that thing on the wall control your narrative. The only thing that should control your narrative is that jelly thing inside your skull.
Right.
And
Yeah. And I think that's where I'm at today is because I was living in my own world, watching Bronco reviews, Bronco versus Wrangler, and shit like that. You know, just minding my own business, wanting to order a new Bronco, and then all of a sudden I just started watching the news, and then started watching people started sending me this shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What? And then I started doing some digging and started sending you shit, and like, yeah, this is real. This is real stuff. It's
And
scary.
well, it's not only scary, but it's it's eye opening for somebody who really doesn't pay attention to it,
It's
and
yeah, yeah.
and and for people on one side that don't believe it, or people on one side that over believe it, if you want to call it that, it is what it is. But you can't let, like I said, you can't let somebody else dictate your life. And sometimes it's nice to be in that bubble.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just nice to come home, eat some tacos, and watch Tombstone and check the weather and make sure that it's not going to freeze over. And then go to bed and do it all over again the next day. Because regardless, there's three things that are going to happen in life: death, taxes, and the Dallas Cowboys with another disappointing season.
I think we're out on that note.
Oh man, I thought that would be
Well,
good.
that was awesome. That was good. Well, I think we should just wrap it up there. I think you just said
That was a
everything that needed to be said, man.
that was a
That
good
was that was
that was a
good.
good closing point.
That was very that wow. It's almost like you've done this before,
A time or two. There's not a flag on the wall for a reason.
right?
Which
Well,
I
folks,
need to record an episode of my show.
yeah, I was kind of waiting on that. I'd like to hear your take, but I think you just spilled you shot your shot your load there earlier.
I got to say, but I tried to keep it light.
All
Will
right,
you open? You
well,
want me to close?
yeah, go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we as co-host, as host and co-host, or co-host and host, would like
Co-host.
to thank you. Oh wait, question. One question before
Yeah.
we leave. What was your overall thought on Raw 30?
Oh man, it was disappointing.
What?
Yeah, it was
We
it
can talk. We
was
can talk. We can talk about it Saturday. You're coming over Saturday, right?
yeah, but let me tell you why.
Okay.
They cut out Becky Lynch match, the cage match.
Because the bloodline went long.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
they cut it out. That's the only thing that I was really looking forward to that match.
Well, and I'll be honest with you, that's 100. That's one thing I was looking forward to as well. I 100% agree with you. I think there were a few other things they could have cut out in that show. Overall,
The
I
whole
thought it was
DX thing.
no, I thought that was good. It was
No, that's what I
entertaining.
was gonna say. The whole yeah, the whole DX thing was really entertaining. Um, I was happy to see Seth Rollins. I'm a huge Seth Rollins fan.
Yeah,
I don't know that,
I
but
I think I think I think there were things that they could have cut out. I think the Sonya Deville Becky, or I'm sorry, Bianca Belair match could have been cut out, and they could
yeah,
have
that
just
that should have
done
been cut out.
they could have just done a little segment with Charlotte and Belair and made it quicker. Um, and then let Alexa run her thing and um, give Becky and Bailey that time to
A 15-minute cage match would have been perfect right there.
would have been better than a
Yeah,
7-minute Belair Sonya
Sonya
Deville match
Deville.
that we knew Sonya Deville wasn't going to win.
Right.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, us at the Empty Slate, thank you again for joining us for episode number 2. Be on the lookout for episode number 3. We are trying, and I say that with a question mark at the end, to do this every Tuesday. Um,
Yes.
work schedules permitting. Um, it, mm, it, I may have to bring my laptop and do this from a hotel next week because I will be training. And maybe doing this from a hotel next week for myself. But we thank you for joining us for our second episode for The Empty Slate. I almost said loud and opinionated, which is my show. Cheap plug right here. Oh, no, I'm not McFoley. But we hope that you will join us again for another exciting and God knows what's going to happen episode of The Empty Slate. Good night.
We'll see you down the road.